Right.
So you don't understand my perception and my reality.
Right.
So when I say that, I'm speaking from my reality as a spouse to someone that's trans.
Right.
You are the trans individual, so you don't understand the reality that I'm talking about.
Okay.
So that's why it don't make sense to you, in a sense.
In
You're
a
still
sense.
supposed to be able, you're still supposed to pick up what I'm saying.
I pick up what you're saying.
Okay.
I understand what you're saying. I just feel like there's a better way that it could have been worded, but I guess I can't tell you how to word your perception.
My reality.
Your reality.
All right. Hey y'all. This is your girl Lala.
And I'm Sean.
We are a trans couple, and what I mean by that is...
I'm trans. I was born female, but I transitioned to male.
And I am a cis woman, so I was born a female and I identify as a woman and a female. So today what we want to talk about is, today is February 14th, and today is our 5-year anniversary of being married. We've been together for 10 years, and we've been married for 5. So we want to come on and we want to share with you guys 5 things that we learned about being married, and it's going to be tailored to our trans couples. Now obviously our cis hetero couples can take some advice, but this is really for our trans couples because I feel like we need more representation, long-term representation, not people that just got together 6 months ago. No, we need...
Right, they breaking up, and it's just like it ain't working, and you hopping from person to person to person. And we need representation that you can find love, and it's not no old, like they say, it's plenty fish in the sea. You will find somebody that you can love and somebody that will love you. It's possible. So you got to change the narrative about what people get a chance to see, and we just want to show you that it's possible. We'll get into more videos talking about how we met and things of that sort, where we started at, and how we got here. But today's video, like she said, we made 5 years being married today. Yes, it's Valentine's Day, but this is the day that we got married. So we don't celebrate Valentine's Day anymore. It's happy anniversary. You don't say happy Valentine's Day. So let's get right into the video.
And if you want another video about how we met and how, all those details, drop in the comments so that we know what type of videos you guys want. And if you have any ideas on what type of videos we should do, drop that in the comments as well.
Also, if you're new to the page, make sure you smash that subscribe button. Leave a comment. Tell us what type of videos you want to see us post. And let's get right into the video.
And like the video. So number 1, Sean has everything that we wrote. So we got 5 tips for y'all. So
5 things that we learned. I don't want to just word it as tips, because it's more so 5 things that we learned, and we kind of want to share that to you guys.
Okay. So number 1 is going to be love is an action word. And I want to expand upon that, right? Love, a lot of people think just saying, oh, I love you is enough. Love like that is not enough. You have to be able to assess where in your life are you not aligning love with action. So being able to learn how your partner wants to be loved, and also how you want to show love, and you guys come together and create that for each other, and make sure that you make love an action in your life.
Right. There's so many things that ties into that statement. You think about love languages, like she said, like how a person wants to be loved. Like you can't love a person the way you want to be loved, because that person may not have the same love language as you. You may be your love language may be touch, and the other person may not. They prefer maybe gifts or affirmations and things of that sort. So love is definitely an action where you definitely got to make sure you're showing that every day. And honestly, it starts with yourself too. You can't love somebody if you don't love yourself. So a lot of people go around treating people shitty because that's how they feel about themselves in general. Like, you have to love yourself, and as we've been together for so long, 10 years, 5 years married, you learn things about yourself that help you into your relationship as well, which is loving yourself. So love is an action where you got to show up for yourself. If you can't show up for yourself, you can't show up for nobody else.
I love that. Okay,
so number 2, I came up with number 2. Patience is important. Patience is definitely very important. We human. We make mistakes. And a lot of people be ready to call quits just because a person made a mistake. But there's a difference between a mistake and something that's just cruel. I'm saying if you could tell a person this has malintent for you, then that's not a mistake. If a person shows to you that you can't trust them as far as I can't trust you as far as I can see you, then that's not it. But if you have patience with a person. You understand that as you grow, you learn things, and you have to be patient with a person as they learn you too. Especially transitioning, you know, a lot of things did change for me. A lot of personality things. Some things stayed the same. Like, I feel like the core values stayed the same, but a lot of things that I didn't like before, I may not like. Or a lot of things that didn't really irritate me before, now irritate me a lot. And as I learned that, she's learned that at the same time. And it takes a lot of patience to understand that, you know, we're growing human beings.
And I want to speak from that perspective of being a wife to a trans individual. Patience is very, very important. Patience with yourself and patience with your spouse. When Sean began to transition, a lot of things, like he said, changed for me. Okay, the person that I once knew, I felt like was changing. The person that I once connected with was changing, and I was changing. And if you're not patient, it's a recipe for disaster. So patience is going to be your best friend, trying to understand that you are transitioning just as well as your spouse is transitioning. That's very, very important. Be patient with yourself and be patient with them. It will take you a long way.
And enjoy the ride. Because it's going to be ups and downs. It's going to be crazy. You just got to realize, you know, if you're with that person, you willing to go through whatever it takes. You know what I'm saying? You willing to grow together. And if you're not growing together, then that's a problem.
Exactly. And we're doing number 3. So this one is really, really important. If you into astrology, because I'm an astrology girl, I'm a spiritual girl, okay? I'm a Scorpio and Sean is a Scorpio. And everyone know the aspect of Scorpio, one of the aspects is we're very secretive. But I think being secretive is a benefit in some way. So this is going to help you understand my tip for number 3, or what I learned is keeping certain aspects of your relationship private to sustain your relationship, okay? And what I mean by that is stop telling everyone your damn business. Stop going on social media and telling people your deep, darkest secrets and like, that's not for people to know, and especially if it's not resolved. Like, that's like me and Sean pressing record in the middle of an argument that is not resolved, and we're not somewhere near the resolution. Because what happens is you tend to open up the doors for your relationship to be judged, for people to wish bad things on your relationship, for you to be confused. Because that's where confusion step in at. Because you know this is your person. You know you love this person. You know this person wants the best for you. But when you start opening the door for people to come in and give their opinions and judgments, you start to become confused on what's really going on. So keeping certain aspects of your relationship private to sustain it. Me and Sean did not make it 10 years without doing that.
Telling everybody our business.
We didn't make it 10 years.
I ain't gonna lie. In the beginning when we first started dating, we would post little social media posts. We knew the shade was being dropped, but at the end of the day, it's not nobody's business what you're going through. They're not there to help you. It's not like, okay, you say, okay, we decided to go see a couples therapist or something. That's somebody that you know wants to see you thrive.
Right.
You don't know who the fuck sees your post and they can be wishing bad luck on you, putting their traumas out there, talking about, oh, girl, you should leave, or dude, you should leave. You know, they put their own traumas on you, and you end up losing the person your person over some bullshit. So, you know, keep your certain things in your relationship need to stay private. Like,
yeah.
Nobody needs to know your business.
Yeah. And with me and Sean now starting our YouTube journey, we are going to be a little bit more open, because I think our foundation have already been built and we already know what it is. So that don't mean we're going to come on here and share every little thing, but if we think it's a teaching moment, if it was pivotal for us, if it's something that's dropped in our spirit to open up and share it with you all, we would do it. But there still would be certain aspects of our relationship that would keep private to sustain it.
Exactly. So don't think that we're gonna be in here spilling all the tea. We're gonna tell y'all. We're gonna tell you, you know, a little something, but y'all ain't gonna know all our business. You know, we're not gonna be putting all our stuff on Front Street. No. Don't think that's what you're getting here. But let's get into our last number 5. Last
number 4, Papa.
Oh shit, my bad. I'm speaking before I needed. Slow down. Okay, so number 4. Intimacy is more than sex. So that's something that's major that you need to learn, that not intimacy doesn't just start with sex. It starts with how you treat a person throughout the day, those just regular touches. You know, regular it's like watering a plant. If you don't water the plant, the shit gonna die, right? So you can't expect that, oh, I'm just gonna pick up the plant after I ain't watered for 5 months and that bitch still alive. No, you need to go back and water it so that it can give you fruits. You how you gonna want to, you know, have sex with a person when y'all ain't been giving each other attention, you've been treating each other like shit? The mood is gone. For me, I can always pick up because I have the hormones. So for me, it's easier to say, you know, I could just jump into sex. But for Lala, you know, it's not. It's as a woman, you know, women have to be nurtured. You have to give them care. For a guy, it's just like, you know, it's up. So you have to learn that, you know, intimacy doesn't start with your sex. You know, you need to make sure you're being intentional with how you're treating your partner every day and attending to that plan, because your relationship is your plant. So your relationship is not going the way you want it to. It's because you're not watering that plant. You're not taking care of that plant. So you expect your plant to give you fruit when you haven't watered it.
That's good. I actually was talking about this a couple of weeks ago, that intimacy is right, and especially for women, and I think for men too. It's just they're just not in tune with that part. But I think outside of sex, those are what really matter. That's what builds up the tension. That's what builds up the connection. Those love touches without leading to sex. Those communications that you guys have outside of the bedroom. Those connections that you build outside of the bedroom. Those things are really, really important to build up your intimacy muscle in your relationship. And if you don't have that, if you're not dating each other, if you're not communicating about the hard things, if you're not giving each other love touches without it leading to sex, if you're not taking a moment throughout your day just to have that moment of connection, your sexual relationship is going to be almost poor, and it's going to be without substance. So if you want to have a sexual relationship with substance, with depth, with love, with all that good shit, you need to start focusing on, how am I catering to this person outside of the bedroom? How am I catering to my relationship outside of the bedroom? How am I building up this intimacy muscle outside of the bedroom?
That is so true. Definitely.
So number 5, this is the last one, and we actually had a little spickle spackle about that. We did a video, so we may post it up and put it in here, or we may do it as a different video, just so you can see how we have these little debates, because we both are very intellectual, so we love having these little debates. I'm teaching Sean how to like stay in the game when it's time for us to have intellectual debates, because he'll tap out and just, you know, but we'll talk about that a different day. So number 5, okay, this is for my trans spouses, okay? I need y'all to stand up really quick. This says having a partner that medically transitioned means having to get to know the person they are growing into being, or into a person they are growing into being. I'm gonna explain this for you. When your trans individual spouse start to medically transition, a lot of things changes. Okay, I like to believe, and from my experience, their personality changes, their appetite for sexual activity changes, their mindset changes. Some of them even get, you know, they start to have like these emotions they don't know how to deal with. That changes. So when you have that person that you before medically transition, when you have that person, you compare the two, you can almost see that this is almost a totally different person. And if you don't learn to get to know your and I'm gonna use this word, your new spouse, you're going to be in a situation where you don't know how you got into this. Okay, so when Sean medically transitioned, it was important for me to get to know the new person. And I know this may be debatable, that people say, oh, they don't change, they're the same person, but for me as a trans spouse, that's different. I don't agree with that. I really truly believe that aspects of him changed, and I had to get to know this person. I had to get to know the new dreams, the new aspirations. Maybe his core values didn't change, but those others, it's like a tree, right? Maybe those roots didn't change, but the branches, right, they changed. And all of those are a makeup of a tree. So I had to be able to get to know those roots. I had to be able to get to know those branches again. I had to be able to get to know what this branch like, what this branch don't like, what make this branch tick, what don't make this branch tick, what make this branch good to be around. Like, I had to really truly get to know him all over again, and I had to get to know this new person that he was growing into every day. What you think?
I feel like what you said is definitely true. I feel like a lot of people, most people don't experience that when you start off dating somebody who's already medically transitioned. So
right.
Like you don't get or you just met them and now they're jumping into medical transition. It's like everything kind of meshed
together. Yeah.
Like we've been together like we said 10 years. I've been medically transitioning. This year will make 4 years. So for 6 years she knew this person, and after those 6 years, this is who I am now. There's so many different things that changed. Like to a core value, I'm still the same person, but a lot of things about my personality that I used to be okay with, now I'm not okay with. There's things that I didn't like before that now I like. So a lot of things will change. And this is targeting the people who, this one right here is really targeting the people who have been in those longevity relationships before realizing that your spouse is trans, before they came to terms with, hey, I'm different, this is me, and I would like to medically transition. So you have to be able to be prepared to get to know them all over again. Because, yeah, people will say they didn't change. But there's certain things about a person, regardless, even if you're transitioning or not, you grow. Regardless, you grow. So when a person's growing into something that they couldn't be for so long,
right,
now they're able to be, okay, you know what? I don't like that. I don't like the idea of that.
Right.
I prefer to do this. Especially being a man in society, or I can only speak for myself. So being a trans man, I know a lot of aspects of what people portray a man to be. There's some things that it's like, okay, that's me. But some things I'm like, nah, that whatever y'all do, that's not what the reality that I want to portray. So, like she said, getting to know that person, who that person's becoming. Because
that's the word.
you get to choose what type of, if you're a trans man, you get to choose what type of man you want to be. And you get to grow into that man that you want to be. Trans woman, you get to be that woman that you always used to be. And maybe you picking apart things that you used to want to be as, and now you don't see that self for you, that being for you. So just getting used to that person and who they're becoming. And that's a statement that you can say all around, honestly. Especially being in a long-term relationship, you got to be able to grow. You're getting older, you're not getting younger. So you can't start off doing dumb shit and continue to do dumb shit 12 to 20 years later. It's not going to work. So you got to get to know that person. If they're, especially as growth happens, you got to get to know. Like before, this person would be ratchet as hell. They was always ready to fight. Everything was fight. Now this person wants to be more calm. This person doesn't want to be quick to anger. And so now I got to get used to, respecting that, your first instincts ain't you ready to go tumble. And be more open. So there's a lot of things that feed into that aspect of just getting to know a person and who they're becoming.
Now I want to add something to that, right? And like I said, this is really for my trans spouses. I don't know how we're gonna describe ourselves, right? But this is really important for us because we have to understand, we do ourselves a disservice if we don't really understand what's going on. Most of us, when our spouse comes to us and tell us that they're trans, right? Most of us like, okay, I love you anyways. Like, we don't even give it a second thought because I don't really think that we understand the magnitude of what was just told to us. We just want to be supportive, and we know we love this, especially for people that's been in a relationship before their spouse told them they were trans, before medically transition. I'm speaking to us. So you don't understand the magnitude of what this person just came and told you, and you don't understand what's coming before you with this journey. So a lot of us don't really take time, and then after that, it's kind of like everything happens in a blink of an eye. I just remember Sean telling me he's trans, and it didn't happen fast because it was years in between. But to me, it felt like it was happening fast, right? Sean told me he was trans. Then he started taking tea. Then he started, it was so much stuff, and it's like I didn't even get a moment to digest that this is real. This is a new person that's coming before me, and this is somebody that I have to get to know all over again, and the dynamics may change. So what you used to do, right? What y'all used to do, and how what y'all used to do it, it may change. So I just want to let it be known and share it with you all that you have to get to know the person that they're growing into being. And that's just that.